For my advocacy assignment, I chose sharing the role of occupational therapy in schools with teachers to help teachers feel better supported by occupational therapists in the classroom. The problem that I identified is teachers' varying levels of understanding of the role of occupational therapy in the schools, which can lead to fragmented occupational therapist and teacher relationships, difficulty integrating occupational therapy support and recommendations in the classroom, and varying understanding of the referral process and the types of services that we can provide, such as direct versus indirect versus teacher consultation, which can lead to inconsistent provision of services of occupational therapy for students. A study that I referenced was conducted to assess teachers' understanding of the role of occupational therapy in schools, and it revealed that many teachers express confusion and or limited understanding of the role of occupational therapists. The study showed that 77% of teachers agreed that OT was a valued member of the team, but expressed the desire for improved collaboration. And many of the teachers were able to discuss how their occupational therapists had played a role in their IEP teams. However, they were unable to actually identify areas that occupational therapists could address to benefit students specifically. And down below are numbers delineating how many of the teachers referred students to occupational therapy. And you can see that many of the referrals, if not most of the referrals, are for the singular area of handwriting, and many of the other areas that we are able to address within our scope of practice are much less referred for occupational therapy services by teachers. When exploring how to foster this improved relationship between occupational therapists and teachers, I felt that it would be important to turn to who both professions look to for information and guidance in the profession, and that would be our licensure and certification boards. So for teachers, the Virginia Department of Education, and for OTs, the AOTA and the Virginia Occupational Therapy Association, or VOTA. So I pulled information on the role of occupational therapy in schools from both of these websites, and as expected, there is a great deal of information on the AOTA website to further talk about our role and how we can support students. On the other hand, on the Virginia Department of Education website, there's very little information on our role in the schools, and what's here on the slide is most of what is listed on that website. And so I think that kind of speaks to how much information teachers may receive and what resources may be available to them to better understand our role and how we can support them in the classroom. I decided to write a letter to Grace Turner Creasy, who is the president of the board of directors for the Virginia Department of Education, or VDOE, and I advocated for expanded guidelines for the role of occupational therapy according to VDOE, and that they could explore the information that AOTA and VOTA have already established on our role in the schools and adapt this information in a way that is accessible to teachers where they may be looking on the VDOE website, to just provide more information and more resources where teachers can learn more and just better understand the role that we can have in the classroom and with students. I also talked about emphasizing the importance of the interdisciplinary team in teacher curriculum to include the role of OT and ways to foster OT collaboration. So potentially just having this as a segment or a presentation in teacher curriculums. This could be just a simple presentation by an occupational therapist, or just any means of providing more information to teachers during their studies before they become teachers, so that they can already be aware of our role and what we can provide, and also potentially having this as a training in whichever school that you become a teacher in. So just having that as a layer of the training that you receive as a new teacher, of this is the team that you'll be working with and these are the services they can provide, this is how you can contact them, etc. And I think having that on a statewide level in some form could be a good way to start something like that. And then I finally encouraged further collaboration with AOTA and VOTA to develop these guidelines and continuing education opportunities and resources to support the interdisciplinary relationship to best support the students. So just starting at the source of further collaboration between VDOE and AOTA and VOTA, so that, us members under these big organizations can see that collaboration and work at that collaboration on an interpersonal level where we work day to day. I hope to continue to advocate for the role of occupational therapy in all settings, and especially in the setting that I'm currently working in, the school system, to better support our teachers, who will in turn best support our students, which is the overarching role of occupational therapy in the schools, is to best support the students in reaching their academic goals.